Hey, hi, hello. It is Samantha here of Samantha Sutherland Art and Books, where I like to sometimes talk about art. I definitely like to talk about books, and sometimes I even talk about art books. But definitely I love talking about my obsession, which is books. And I say obsession because this is only in the last week. Whoops is all I'll say, but they're all going to be loved and read and put in a library when I get my library back. Or get a library, I should say. When I make my library. That I will get to probably at the end of the video. We'll see at some point. It's going to be a higgledy-piggledy video, and it might be all over the show, but I hope you enjoy it all the same. First of all, I would like to say a huge thank you to all the new subscribers that I've got. It's jumped up quite a bit. I mean, for me, it's quite a bit. And I was really shocked to see that I have got quite a few new subscribers in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. Thank you so very much for finding my channel and choosing my channel to subscribe to. It does mean a lot, and it's lovely to meet every one of you. And to those of you who've been here for a while, welcome back. It's always lovely to have you and everybody here who likes to come and visit me on my little corner of YouTube. Grab yourself a brew. We're in for a chat. I've got my favourite cup. I've got a smaller cup today, as you will see, because slight life update, nothing icky and or ooky, but as you know, zipping past through it, I had an operation. I was given a drain in a bag, and it's still there. Well, Tuesday I had to have it restitched because the stitch came away again. To my extreme enthusiastic happiness, they had to restitch it. I did get cake out of that. In fact, I was told that I should eat cake, so I got cake. I got red velvet cake out of that, and I shared it with my little girl. It was so nice. And yes, so it was only this Tuesday gone, and today is Thursday. Hopefully the video will go up today, or at least tomorrow. I'll try tonight, but internet slows down at night in my house. I don't know why. So yes, I've still got the bag. It's looking like it might be removed next week though. So as a celebration, I've told my husband I want to go to Altrincham, I want to go to Waterstones and get a book. Surprise, surprise. Because I have a Waterstones Plus card and there's a £10 voucher on it, and I'm pretty sure if I don't use it soon, it's going to run out, because I think you've got like a year to use it. And whatever I buy, I then will have 2 more ticks to the vouchers. Or I've got 2 more vouchers at least to collect, stamps to collect to get another voucher, sorry. So I can always get my little girl something as well. And also I've had a frog in my throat all day, so I apologise now. Right, I'm going to make this part of my haul from World of Books, but as many of you, those of you who follow my channel, I don't know if you already know the news or if you've seen it, or you may have come across it at some point, that very sadly last week at some point that Alice of Alice in the Giant Bookshelf has passed away. It's very sudden and it's very sad, and the whole booktube community, they're putting out some absolutely beautiful videos, and watching the videos is both sad and it's happy, because it's you're getting to know a little bit more about what Alice was like, especially with her friends who are booktubers as well. So it's always lovely to see those videos popping up in my feed, and I have been watching as many of them as has been popping up. And it's still very sad news. I mean, it's only been just gone a week now, and it still doesn't feel real. It's still very sad, and the whole booktube community really has felt this. And to her family, again, all I can say is I'm so sorry for your loss. So that brings me to my World of Book haul and what I'm up to, because as I mentioned in my Thinking of Alice video, her favourite author was Agatha Christie, and I know that her favourite character was Poirot. So I went off last week after I'd made the video, and I did start reading The Halloween Party. I am really enjoying this. It's been a fantastic book so far, and even though I'm only chapter 6, I'm really enjoying it, and I can see why Alice liked liked Agatha Christie, sorry, so much. And after I'd started reading this, I think it was the next day, or it might have been the same day, I put an order in to World of Books. And I also bought, to add to my collection, because I only have 2 Agatha Christie books, which is this one and Murder at the Vicarage, which is a marple. I know that because I looked it up earlier. I also bought 2 more because I want to do, like I said, a year of Agatha Christie. I got Cat Amongst the Pigeons and Murder on the Orient Express. Now, as a kid, I've seen the original film. I think Peter Ustinov was the Poirot for this one. I'm almost certain. I want to say Peter Ustinov, and I did really like him as Poirot. But my favourite Poirot has to be, I would say, David Suchet. He really did embody the character so very well. So after Halloween Party, I may actually end up reading this, because this is one of my favourite books to film, but I'd never, until last week, had started reading Agatha Christie. This is the first Agatha Christie book I've ever read, and I'm really enjoying it, to the point that I will probably read this next, and then Murder at the Vicarage, and then this, unless I buy any more Agatha Christie books that take my fancy. We'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm going to wait for a little bit, because I may have gone a little bit mad with buying books. But yeah, so my year of Agatha Christie will include these at some point, as well as Murder at the Vicarage, and a continuation of reading this. And I've really, really been enjoying this, and I can't wait to let you know my thoughts on it when I have finished it. And also the rest of the books I got from World of Books. Now, it kind of sorry about that, was my tablet. It's gone off a bit mad. I was in a book slump. Now I'm out of the book slump. I'm now in a cross-stitch slump. And you're probably thinking, where's this going? Summerween. What is Summerween, you may ask, if you didn't see my last video, or you can't remember what I said in my last video, or you've just forgot, like I keep forgetting, and I have to remind myself. Don't worry. You're in good company with bad memories, with a bad memory. Summerween is basically when you're getting closer to autumn, because we've just had the summer solstice, I know. However, I don't like summer. I don't like heat. I don't like spring, because it's a bit too warm, although very wet. Not my favourite time of year. It's all right. My favourite time of year is autumn. It gets darker early. You want to snuggle up in your favourite chair. You want to sit and drink cups of tea all day and watch films and read books. Well, that's what I do, because I have to stay out of trouble, because I have no choice. For my birthday, my husband, as you know, and I showed this in my birthday Pretty's haul video, bought me Rev Peter Laws' The Frighteners, which I am thoroughly enjoying. I am on, I think, chapter, I want to say 6. And I would be wrong. It's chapter 5. I'm on Zombies Everywhere. I think this is the one I was on when I showed it to you last time. So as my husband bought me this, and I started reading it on my actual birthday, I thought, well, there goes my plans for my birthday stitch out the window. And when I say that, I have another channel, Autumn Fox and Rabbit Crafts. So as the name suggests, it's where I share all of my craft related shenanigans and mischief, basically. I'm making a quilt at the moment, so I'm showing that on there, and I do knitting and lots of other craft related things that involve fabric and wool. Things that I can't share on this channel because it's got nothing to do with books or art, except for the textile art, but that's a different kettle of fish. Basically, I was going to listen to Pride and Prejudice on Audible whilst stitching a Pride and Prejudice sampler, and then I was going to watch the film had I not finished it whilst the book had finished, and if I was still stitching it whilst the film had finished, I was going to get the series and watch the 90s series whilst doing the sampler. However, I have not exactly grown bored with cross stitch, I just can't manage to do it. What I mean by that is I do not have the mental capacity to sit for long periods of time, because as you can see, the longer I sit, sometimes the more pain it causes. At the moment, I can't hold the stitch thingy. I'd have to do it in hand, and also I'm finding it difficult to follow a pattern that's written down and also to stitch at the same time, because the fatigue is still quite annoying at the moment, and I'm still feeling very tired at times, and I don't really have a lot of strength. So I have enough strength and enough brain power to sit and read a book for an hour or so, or 40 minutes or whatever. So I decided to, even though I had months ago spent a load of money kitting up the Pride and Prejudice sampler, finding the perfect sampler, kitting it up, I haven't done anything. I really haven't. I haven't wanted to. I haven't had the energy to. I've not been awake enough to do any stitching, but I have been awake enough to do reading. So I thought, after my friend wished me a merry, happy Summerween, I thought, oh, that's a great idea. So instead of doing that, I would celebrate Summerween going into Halloween. And I thought the best way to do it would be to carry on reading the Frighteners. And then after I'd finished the Frighteners, I have other books that I can read. Now, I'm going to show you my next book, which is not summer related, but it's technically a Jane Austen. Now, I bought my husband Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, like 10 years ago? Probably for his birthday. And then I showed my daughter this and she went, oh, it's so cute, because she thinks zombies are cute. In the zombie apocalypse, we're going to have to train her. Zombies aren't cute. That could be a problem, but that's a bridge we'll cross when we come to it. Is the reason I mentioned Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which was written by the same author of this book. Though this is a Jane Austen, it's not. It is written by Seth Graham Smith, and it is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is another part of the World of Books haul. Now, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous edition. I've been after this book for ages. But I never got around to buying it at full price because it was expensive. And it's even got some beautiful artwork. I've seen the film. Both my husband and I have seen the film. When I told him there's going to be a film, I went, there's going to be Pride and Prejudice. And there's going to be a film out. It's going to be Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice. And he said, I'm not going to want to watch it because it's not my kind of film. And then I went, and zombies. And he went, ooh, because he likes anything with zombies. The artwork in this is stunning. The book is stunning. This is a really beautiful copy. It was looked after by whoever owned it before they gave it to Wob, or wherever Wob got it from. This is funny. I'm hungry. Eat myself. Although, actually, maybe, no, actually he's not. Now I look at it again. He's not eating himself. He's eating someone else's arm. Come on, Samantha. That's just silly. Oh, it's the maid. He's eating the maid. They're both eating the maid. Is that a foot? It's a foot. I've not looked through this properly. You can tell. But yes, this book, the film, this is a goopy picture, but it's fake because it's a picture. But you'll see what I mean. It's a zombie having his head kicked off. I think it's the Lizzie Bennet character. I'm not completely sure. Yeah, Elizabeth lifted her skirt, disregarding modesty, and delivered a swift kick to the creature's head. There you go then. It's a reimagining of Jane Austen's Regency period. And I can't wait to start this book. It says now with 30% more zombies, that's a good thing. So that's part of my World of Books haul for Summerween, because I decided that I wanted to have some really good books to read. Also, not part of Summerween, but because it's pretty and I needed to get a new copy, A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. Actually, funny enough, I've got my Shakespeare Insults t-shirt. Things like footlicker, which makes me laugh. I called my husband a footlicker the other night and he didn't hear me, so it's quite funny. He's a bit deaf. He's got an ear infection at the moment. Clod of Wayward Marl is another one of my favourites, and Lump of Foul Deformity is another of my favourite insults. I can tell I like this t-shirt because of the insults, and it's so comfy. I got it from Amazon actually. It was good value for money actually. So yes, I've replaced this. It's going on my bookshelf, but I will be reading this, so not to worry, because it's my favourite. It's my favourite of all of his plays. I went to see, as a 12-year-old, I think it was, 12, 13, maybe 14-year-old, I went to see it at the theatre in Manchester, just off Oxford Road. I forgot the name of the theatre. And we went to see there with a few people from school. My English teacher took us. Enjoyed it. I fell in love with Shakespeare more right there and then, because I kind of didn't really like Shakespeare a huge amount when I was at school. I was made to do Romeo and Juliet. I didn't really like Romeo and Juliet. I found it boring, to be honest. But then when I went to see A Midsummer Night's Dream, I was hooked. So, and I do actually have a t-shirt which is Midsummer Night's Dream themed. I should have worn that and I'd have been matching. So that's my haul from World of Books. Also, let you know that it used to be any books that were £5 and under, you got 3 you paid for, you got the 4th one free. It's now bumped up to £10. So any used book that's £10 and under, you get 3 plus 1 free. But they all have to be used and they all have to be under £10. Just to let you know. So going back to my Summerween book list, reading list. So I've got these two for definite. This is in no particular order. Then I was watching Alexandra Rosalind. I've got my script next to me, which is why I can look that way. But she's doing Summerween, a readathon, but she's doing it with prompts. So like those pesky kids, summer camp goes wrong, your family is really messed up. That's those sorts of prompts. 3 of the books caught my attention. One of them was mainly for I Was Naughty, but then again, Darling Desi also really rated this book a couple of years back. I fell in love with the jacket of the book, because retro me, who loves anything 80s and 90s, I used to have a video player. I had a video player up until 8 years ago, because my daughter put a battery in it and they wouldn't have come out and fixed it or anything, because they were starting to just get rid of it. It was a case of throw it away and get a DVD player, which is what we did. But yes, it appealed to me because of the VHS box type book jacket. He even says "Be kind, rewind." How cool is that? And just, it also says a novel, just so you know it's not a video cassette. It also has a back like you would read on a video box. So this one's called My Best Friend's Exorcism, and basically these 2 girls go skinny dipping. It goes very wrong. One of them gets possessed and the other one has to unpossess her friend. And then another book that Alexandra Rosalind was talking about was this one by Kaylin Byron. Sorry if I've messed that name up. It's You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. And I just, from the description she gave, it was fantastic. But basically, Charity Curtis has a summer job of her dreams, playing the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. Guests pay to be scared in this full contact terror game, as Charity and her summer crew recreate scenes from a classic slasher film, The Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. The more realistic the fear, the better for business. But on the last weekend of the season, Charity's co-workers begin disappearing. And when one ends up dead, Charity's role as the final girl suddenly becomes all too real. If Charity and her girlfriend Bezzy hope to survive the night, they'll need to figure out what the killer is after. But as they unravel the bloody history of the real Mirror Lake, Charity discovers that there may be more to the story than she ever suspected. It just sounds great. Cosplayers playing slasher games then get killed for real. It just sounded really funny. And I was like, I'm all about funny. I would love to read that. And spooky, creepy stuff. That I have to read that. So these are the last, I think the last two to my Summerween, because when I go into autumn, Halloween, I want to read things like 2 days in September. Is it 2 days or 2 weeks in September? I forgot the name of that book now. The name escapes me. Also, The Shooting Party. There's also a few other books I really want to read. So, and I was going to read the Japanese book set in the bookshop for spring. I never got round to it. So I might leave that until next spring, and I might start Japanese books translated to English for next year instead, because I was going to do it this year. But I've got too carried away with Summerween. And then I just happened to be looking for birthday presents for my daughter. Oh, and also one more. She mentioned Stephen King's It. So I thought there's 1,088 pages. I would be rather insane to try and read that. And so I decided that I was going to instead get it on Audible. And I did. I'm on chapter 2 of it. And I must say, I am really, really, really enjoying the book. If you've seen the remake with Bill Skarsgård, it is literally that film. And it's fantastic. It really is. It's a brilliant book so far. And I'm only on chapter 2. I'm really enjoying it. There's so much in the book that's actually in the film, I think. Well, by the sounds of it. The miniseries was with Tim Curry. Added to my fear of clowns. Terrifier made me even more afraid of clowns. And there is another film I'll get to in a bit, which is clown based, but that comes under plans. So yes, but yeah, I got those two Summerween books. I got them from Amazon. I also might have accidentally bought Macbeth. It's not my fault. I heard someone on BookTube talking about how cool and how great Macbeth is. So I bought it so I can read it. So as it's only very, very short, I figured I might start reading it sooner rather than later. You know, because reading 2 books at the same time is not mad enough. I should always read a 3rd book, she said. I did that with Midsummer Night's Dream. I was reading that at the same time as Miss Pettigrew and Hannah the Baskervilles. And I got Hannah the Baskervilles finished. I will finish Miss Pettigrew. Coming to Miss Pettigrew, I took some advice from a couple of YouTubers because being dyslexic, I'm always looking for hints and tips on the best ways to kind of complete books and stuff. Because I read so slow, I kind of go at a plod along pace. Before, basically what I did was I love page flags. Since discovering page flags, they've become my best friend for when reading, because, well, at the moment I need to get a bookmark for this, but when I come to the end of a sorry about that, my daughter's got an alarm clock and she sets an alarm for 7:15 at night. I don't know why, and it just decided to go off. I don't know if you heard it before I paused the video. Where was I? Page flags. Yeah, so I use page flags so that at the moment it's I need to get a bookmark. I am waiting for an awesome bookmark for this book, which comes from another YouTuber actually. She's got an Etsy shop. What is her channel name is WhatvictoriaRead, and she designs bookmarks and she sells them for charity. And this year she has picked 2 charities, which is Shelter and a food bank. And all the proceeds of whatever you buy from her Etsy shop and whatever you know, as annoying as adverts are, just sit through them on her channel, because the revenue from that goes, what little bit there is, goes through to her, pay her so she can then donate that money to the charities. So I bought a bookmark. I think it's in my cozy crime mystery era or something, and I thought I have to get it for the Agatha Christie books, and I can use it for all my Agatha Christie books. It's going to be really useful. But yes, back to page flags for now. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But yeah, I use them to mark where I've ended, and I do that every time I finish an area in the book, when I have to get up or whatever, because my memory's so bad I can't always remember, and I reread things over and over again, and when you're dyslexic, that's a big problem. So I put bookmarks every, I think it was 20 pages in the Miss Pettigrew books. However, I feel, I don't know if it's just, I'm feeling a little bit pressured when I come to read the book, because then I'm like, I've got to read to the end of the page flag, and if I don't, I'm having OCD. Having OCD is a bit of a problem, because then all the page flags get messed up. So then I'm thinking I've got to read to the next page flag and then end there, because otherwise they're all going to get messed up. So I'm going to take them all out, and I'm going to do what I've been doing with this book and with Halloween Party, which is literally just reading chapter to chapter to chapter. So with these two books, I kind of start reading it with the thought of reading one chapter, but then I continue to read two. And sometimes I end on 2 chapters, but if I'm still really, really enjoying the book, I'll go on to 3 chapters maximum, because then I start to get quite tired, and then I'll go back to the book the next day. This I read for a good few days. I read 2 chapters per day for a good few days, and now I'm on chapter 5, and I'm on chapter 6 with Halloween Party. So I'm going to try that. So I might be reading 4 books at the same time, but who knows? The weird thing about me is I can actually distinguish what I've been reading and remember, which is very weird. I've always been the same. But no, I think I'll just read those 2 books first, and then I'll probably finish Miss Pettigrew when I'm down to just 1 left, if I've got 1 left. So that's my tip. My personal tip is that personally works for me. It might work for you, or the page flag every 10 pages might work for you. I don't know, but for me, it just feels like I'm pressuring myself into reading to the next page flag, and then thinking, well, I wanted to read another chapter, but there's the page flags. So yeah, so I've decided I'm going to do away with all of them, and I'm just read from 1 chapter to the next, with a maximum of 3 chapters. On a really good day, maybe a maximum of 4. I might be able to do 4 chapters. I don't know. But tomorrow I'm going to have a lot of sitting around to do, so I'm going to pick one of the books to read a few chapters of tomorrow, with biscuits in my reading chair. But yeah, so that's my way of getting through the books. So that's Summerween, which I'm looking forward to continuing to read. I have been thoroughly enjoying the 2 books that I'm reading, but like I said, one is for my year of Agatha Christie, so I can take my time reading those books, and I'm so enjoying my plod along reading of those books. I've been listening to lately Uncanny on Spotify, which is by Danny Robbins, and I've mentioned this in my last full video that I'd made, where he likes to look at a paranormal incident that someone's been through, and he will logically look at it. So is it the environment that's to blame, or is it hallucinations? Were they on medication that could have, aided in the hallucinations, or was the mold in the house that could have had a psychological effect, or is there something in the environment like electric, something electric in that sort of thing? And he'll ask 2 experts. Now, in the podcast on Spotify, or whatever your streaming service is for podcasts, Rev Peter Laws pops up. He's one of the experts, and one of the other experts tends to be something like a psychiatrist or a psychologist, or someone who is an expert in science or something like that. And it's really interesting. So I've been really enjoying that. And obviously I've been listening to it as well. So I'll probably go back to listening to it while I run my daughter's bath, because I'm going to go do that in a minute. So I'm still early, which is very weird. And this lamp annoys me because it buzzes. I don't know why. I need to get a proper grown-up one. Can't keep using the George Pig from Peppa Pig in my bedroom anymore. Which brings me to my next thing. The library slash art studio, maybe slash quilt studio. We are still working on my daughter's room. I'm aware that I have been saying that in videos for absolutely ages, but with having this surgery, and I was hoping to maybe get to it this week, but my husband's got an ear infection. He's not well. I said, we'll leave it this week and next week. We'll chill out, we'll read, we'll watch films, whatever. And then the week after, we're going to have to clamp down and get back on it for many reasons, as in, you saw my book haul. That's only the stuff I've bought in the last week. I've got a book cart over there. I've got a full one downstairs. I've got 2 full bookcases, although one of the bookcases is full of sewing books, so they're going to go in a box for now. And we will get back on it. And my daughter now wants a witchy aesthetic bedroom, so she still wants the same colours, but she wants, like, I'm going to get her like wall stickers to go on that, like, you know, toad with witches hats on, and mushrooms and trees and like little witches and things like that. So I'm going to try and find some of them to stick on the walls. And then she wants me to paint a mural. Now, I bought her a t-shirt as a present, and I will link it somewhere here. In fact, if I turn this off, that might be better when I put writing down, but I will link it somewhere here. I'm sorry if the light's just gone really bad because the sun is going down because it is like 7:30. But yeah, so I bought her a pusheen, you know, the pusheen little thing on Facebook when you do like DMs and stuff. Well, I bought her pusheen on a witch's broom with a witch's hat and cape, and it says broom broom, and I will place a picture of it here. And she absolutely went nuts for it. She loved it. And so she wants her birthday themed witchy with Harry Potter. And she wants a witchy bedroom with a library. So I found a couple of rugs that would go beautifully in the room. One says, shh, I'm reading. One says reading corner, and it's got books on it. So I think she might go for one of them. Or she will go for one of them because she'll ask which one she wants. We're going to get her some new bookcases. I'm hoping 3 of the tall, thinner ones, because it'll make it easier and a bit cheaper. And I'm going to cover them in Fablon, so they look pretty on the outside, and maybe get some stickers to go on the outside. I'm not too sure yet. And then she's going to have something quite unique. So when I get this room next door back, which I'm going to take you on a journey with me, I've been thinking of colours, and I figured whatever colour I paint that room, I'll be painting my bedroom with. And the colours I really like tend to be kind of like dark yellow, yellow ochre, and I was thinking what would be a really good pop of colour with that, like navy blue or dark blue of some kind. I know black seems to be quite popular, but as much as I like black, I'm not going to do black. I'm probably going to do navy blue. And then I'll probably paint the room in here in the same colours because we'll already have the paint. So I just have to then figure out my bookcases and bookshelves. Now I want to get bookshelves, and I don't want to get white because I want it to kind of look kind of cozy and warm and like old, kind of just walked into it and like, oh, this is like a really old like office type library situation. So I want to get something that's dark wood but not black, so maybe like mahogany, or stain up some furniture, but probably do the same thing with Fablon as well, just to kind of make it unusual, because if I have to buy them with like dark wood, I don't want them to kind of be like brand new. I want them to look something like they've been pre-loved and someone's decorated them but left them the same, if that makes any sense. So I want to do that, and if I do use it as a quilting studio, there'll be pull down tables and extra bits that I can hopefully store away, that I can pull out and use to as a cutting table, etc. Because I can't get on the floor, there's no way. I need to have something my height, so some kind of rollabout cutting table would be perfect. But first and foremost, it's going to be a library. That's what I want it to be. And that's what I've been envisioning it as for the last like year or so. So that's what I really want it to be. So I'm window shopping, looking at storage ideas, looking at bookcases. I'm saving my money to get some really nice bookcases that I'd like to stay in there for as long as we live in this house, that we can take with us, that will be easy to either take down or put onto a removal van should the time come when we actually do move. And for like room decor, I want, it's not a very big room, so maybe one really good sized poster of artwork maybe, or something to do with reading or something, and then little pieces of framed artwork that will go around it. Plus I've got some of my daughter's artwork, which as you can see here, which I'd really like to put in that room. So I'm going to clean it up, keep it in that frame, restick any bits that might have come loose, because she did it when she was about 2 and I just really love it. No, 3, because what she did was, that was payment for a painting that I did, and she said, "Mummy, can I buy your painting?" And I was going to throw it away or paint over it, and I was like, okay. She want that one, and then she gave me this as payment, so it has a very special meaning to me. And obviously I've got things like the movings piece, and I've got one downstairs, and I might keep a reading nook downstairs. We have a wall kind of bit that comes out where the fireplace used to be. I'm thinking of putting what are they called, shelves in there, and maybe a really comfortable chair could go in that corner, because the desk that was downstairs, or is downstairs, is coming into my, I think it's the only white thing, but it's got like beach tabletop type situation on the top. And my daughter's having what would have been my art table, because it's not going to fit in there now, so she really wants the art table, and I said she could have that, with swap desks. So if that one downstairs is fine, other than that, we're gonna have to buy her a new desk. It's been the art table's been downstairs in the kitchen for 2 years now. It feels like it's been on there forever. So I don't know what state it's going to be in, other than the box is a mess. Also, as I mentioned, I was thinking of a little bit of a change. You may see a little bit of a change in me, because like I've decided I want to kind of go back to quirky, weird, dark clothes, but that are quite unusual. Things like dungarees that I found, which are called Forest Witch. I've bought myself a hairband which has got pumpkins on it, so I may be wearing maybe slightly darker shades than I used to. You may not believe this, but I am a goth. Have been for many years, since I was in high school, and I'm now 44. So that's a long time, but I just, yeah, see, I do wear black from time to time. It just seems that a lot of goths have like their own uniform type thing, which is really cool, but I'm a bit too old for that kind of some of the clothes, and I just want comfy, something that's comfortable and cozy, and I can sit around in all day and read. So yeah, there might be slight changes. Plus I need to buy some new clothes anyway, because not many of my clothes fit me. This is huge on me now, and my I found a Macbeth t-shirt, so I thought I would. One of the reasons I bought Macbeth is that I wanted to read it, but also there's a t-shirt I want, and I thought, if I read the book first, I have the right to buy the t-shirt. It's stupid, the way my thoughts go, but I figured that, and I just really want the t-shirt, and they only had it in one size smaller than my Midsummer Night's Dream one, but my Midsummer Night's Dream t-shirt is huge on me. I tried it on last night and I'm like, oh, this is really big. So what with also hopefully starting physio soon as well, and exercising a little bit more, keeping the weight off and you're still eating toddler-sized meals, I might lose a little bit more weight, and I'm still going to need new clothes. So as soon as the drain comes out, I'm going to buy new clothes. I might buy some pajamas to celebrate. But yes, so that's really the only change. Is I'll probably talk about films a little bit more as well. Like the film I was going to mention earlier, Clown, which is about a man whose son has a birthday party. The clown turns up, he's drunk, he can't have him in the house, so he finds a clown costume in the attic, puts it on, and then he can't take it off, and then the poop hits the fan. And it was a very good film. It was an Eli Roth film, or produced by Eli Roth, but he had a hand in it. But you wouldn't have really known because it wasn't as gory as his other films. And I really enjoyed it. It was more of a psychological horror than a horror, which is what I really like. So I'm going to probably start talking a little bit more about my favourite horror films. I'll probably do that at the end. So if it's something you didn't want to hear about, you could just leave the channel. I think that's probably the best way to do it, is to leave like horror chats about horror films and stuff. Or I want to go and see the new Nosferatu when it comes out, which has got Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult. They're playing the couple that appear, that their characters of from the original F.W. Murnau film, which I've seen. The 1922 version really scared me. Yes, it was silent, but it was fantastic. And Count Orlok, one of those two, is being played by Bill Skarsgård, who famously played Pennywise the Clown brilliantly, can I add. Also, if you're interested in the Audible book of It, it's narrated by Steven Weber, who has been in one of the Stephen King adaptations. He was in the series of The Shining, if I remember correctly. I think he played Jack Torrance. I think I'd have to double check that. But yes, I'm hoping to listen to more Stephen King audibles. I also have Misery, which I did start listening to and I need to finish. And I want to get Pet Sematary as well, because I'm not 100% on the remake. I do love the original. And I also want to buy, when I can afford it, The Body by Stephen King, which, if you've seen the film Stand By Me, with River Phoenix and the dude who played Wesley Crusher and a few other big names, I can't think of their names off the top of my head. The original short story that was based on was The Body, and I would really like to read that. And I'd also like to read The Harvest, and I've seen the film version of that. It was a little indie film which I found on Prime for free. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was basically a town where every year the eldest boy in a family has to battle a pumpkin type creature, and if he defeats the pumpkin type creature, he wins a load of money, a new car, and the ability to leave town and start a new life. And then as this tradition goes on, there's this young boy whose brother did the same thing and who won, and he's jealous that his brother got to move away and start a new life. He wants to do the same because he just wants to get out of town. So he finds a way to try and get in on this tradition. His parents don't want him to. He doesn't know why. And as he goes to join in on this very strange tradition, he finds out exactly what the real reason for it is and why his parents don't want him to. And it was originally a book, which I didn't know. I was watching, it must have been Alexandra Jocelyn. Don't think it was, actually. It was somebody else, and I can't think who that booktuber was. I'll go back through my history and I'll have a look. It's one of the horror readers, because I found it on eBay cheaper than anywhere for now, and I might buy it off eBay. And that's what I want to read in the future. That would be a Halloween read, definitely. So that's the kind of way I'd like to take my channel a little bit. So talk about things like Peter Laws books and the Agatha Christie books and Shakespeare, and then also maybe like the odd, not every video I make, but the odd video then kind of either make a separate one about, you know, like ooky spooky stuff, and or put that at the very end of my main video. But yeah, that I think is everything for now. I think I've covered everything, and I think I've rambled enough for now. But I will let you know, as my daughter won't see this video. She won't sit through anything longer than, saying that, she'll sit through some gamers videos that will do a live stream for like 2 hours or something. But we've got her a birthday present, and it says it's a t-shirt that says the book was better. Because she got really upset and angry that she watched How to Train Your Dragon, then we got other books, and she read the first book and she went, oh, none of that was in the film. They changed the characters, they changed the dragons and rah rah rah. And you know what? The book was better. And it made me giggle because my husband keeps saying that about Lord of the Rings. He prefers the books to the film. He thought films weren't as good. And to be honest, Peter Jackson has a history of messing books to film up. Lovely Bones, which is a book that I hated anyway. The film is even, the film's worse. I didn't think that was possible, but it was. Anyway, that's a chat for a completely different time. Maybe I'll talk about it if you want me to. Please let me know below, and I will elaborate on why I hated the book and why I hated the film even more. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to go off and probably listen to it whilst I run my daughter's bath. And I think I might do an eeny meeny, miny mo, because I actually don't know which one to read. I read this last night and I want to read some more of this. So I might just read some more of this because I've just started on chapter 5. And as I'm not pressuring myself, I've not got to the end to chapter 6 yet. But so I think I might, I think I'm going to read this actually. So I will see you all next time. I hope that you have a lovely week. Yeah, so I will leave links to all the YouTubers I have mentioned. I will leave a link to all the places I bought my books from the last week. And I think that is literally about it. Have a lovely week. Enjoy reading. Stay warm, stay cozy, stay safe. And you can find me on Instagram and Goodreads. And on that note, good reading to you. Have fun with whatever book you're reading. I'm going to go off and read some more of this. I will see you later, and this video will either be up tonight or tomorrow. I might actually put it tomorrow, which will be Friday the 5th. That way I can edit it tomorrow and while I'm more awake. I actually think it started raining. Yeah, it's raining. Heavy torrential downpour. Good old British weather. So goodbye, good night. I'll see you later. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cozy. Keep reading. And as I said before, good reading to you. I will see you later. Goodbye, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.